A traveler knows that they are only in a place for a limited time, and a traveler knows that their true home is somewhere else. This is the case of our journey in this life. It is a temporary stop. As the Prophet ﷺ said, Mali walid dunya, what do I have to do with this life? I'm like a traveler who stops in the shade of a tree for a while and then continues on his path. Right now, we have stopped in the shade of a tree for a while. This is dunya. We have to keep that into perspective. And in that journey, we need to know what our purpose is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. In any journey, you need to know what you're doing. And so in this journey, for us to be successful, we have to be very clear about what we're doing here. Allah has told us very clearly that we have not created jinn and human beings except to fulfill ubudiyyah to Allah, except to worship and serve and know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In order to be successful in any journey, we need to know where we're going. What is our end and what is our ultimate goal? We need to keep that in mind. And that ultimate goal is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything we do needs to have that goal in mind. Our end is to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Jannah. So what that means is we need to plan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْتَنظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. In this ayah, Allah is advising, is telling the believers, O you who have believed, have God consciousness and let everyone know what they have put forth for tomorrow. A lot of us know what we have put forth for tomorrow in 24 hours. But here Allah is reminding us to be careful and know what we're putting forth for the tomorrow, capital T. We all know that we are in this place temporarily and we're going to another permanent home. But have we furnished the permanent home? Allah is telling us to furnish that home. So when we get there, which is a certainty, no one can deny that we're going to that home. The question is, how much have we furnished it? Once we get there, is it going to be empty or is it going to be furnished? Lastly, on this path back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to face struggle. We are going to face hardships. But we need to understand how to respond to those hardships and how to understand those hardships. There's a very beautiful poem in which the poet says that when someone beats a rug with a stick, the beating is not intended for the rug. It's intended for the dirt inside the rug. When we go through hardship and when we go through struggle, that is not intended to hurt us, but it's intended to purify us. If the ultimate goal is to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the purest form, then we should be happy and grateful at anything that purifies us along that path. Lastly, remember that nothing in this life lasts, and that means that the pain and struggle doesn't last, and neither does that which shines. But this life is not perfectly good, but it's not perfectly bad either. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, with the usr, He has given us yusr. With the hardship, at the same time, He gives us ease. And remember this, none of us are perfect. So we are going to stumble, but don't lose hope. A lot of times people, they get this iman rush, they come to a conference like this, and they get this iman rush, and then after a while, it dips. Don't lose hope. Keep going, keep coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I end with the hope and the comfort that Allah gives us. Ya ayyuhal insanu innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadahan famulaqi. O mankind, you are toiling, ever painfully toiling towards your Lord, but you shall meet Him